Hey everyone, welcome to my new setup. I decided to fully embrace my nerdiness, and so that's why you see both Marvel and PC stuff in the background. Hope you like it. Today I'm going to be talking to you about something exciting, and this is going to be about the new AI assistant inside of Articulate Storyline 360. In an upcoming video, I'm going to be talking about the AI assistant inside of Rise 360, but for now I'm just going to focus on Storyline and exactly what you can do inside a Storyline. So let's go ahead and dive in here, and you can see that I have a blank project pulled up, and even before I go into a page, notice on the right hand side, right inside a Storyline is this new AI assistant. Now the AI assistant allows me to select if I want to generate a quiz, generate a question, or generate a summary. So I can select several different pages and have it generate a summary at the end of it. Now, other options will pop up as I start to explore, as I start to build content. You can always come back into this tab and take a look at what the AI assistant can do. Now, I saw a preview of this a little while ago. In fact, I saw the AI preview almost a year ago inside of Rise, but I didn't know that it was coming to Storyline until a few months ago. And I'm so excited about this because it allows me to really take a lot of what I use, ChatGPT and DALL-E and other things, and have it just integrated right inside of Storyline. Now, that does beg the question of like, is it worth the price? Because it is a little bit extra. I'll just get that out of the way right now. So if it's worth the price and it's worth having it all integrated, then I would say go for it. But if you already have ChatGPT, if you already use like Firefly, it may be something that you want to just, take a step back and say, do I really need this? Is it worth the integration? That's up to you, but I at least want to show you what it can do inside a Storyline. And there are some benefits of having it just right inside a Storyline. And that way you don't have to copy and paste. You can just generate images, you can generate text, you can improve text right inside of Storyline itself. And same thing with Rise. So you can integrate it right inside of Rise. All right, so let's go ahead and go into a page, and really where the AI parts are coming into play is in your media creation and your text creation. So when I say media creation, I'm talking about images, being able to generate new completely made up images, as well as text to speech, which is a whole lot better than what it used to be. And so it's a lot more natural sounding text to speech, which we'll talk about. So that's really where AI is. Now, as a future update, I would love, and this is feedback that I've already given to Articulate, I would love for it to take a page that's a pretty basic page layout, and just like you do inside a PowerPoint, I have a link to, in fact, at the end of the video, I'll link a PowerPoint video that I showed, Copilot inside of it, where it actually redesigns pages based on the text that I have. And so I would love a feature like that inside of Storyline. So I'm hoping down the road, this AI assistant allows me to do something like that. But for now, it at least helps me just insert some text, insert an image. It also allows me to insert audio, and anything that you see this star and this kind of purple highlight, that's where the AI assistant is integrated. And also in the AI assistant, you'll notice once I'm on a page, there is also other options like generate an image, generate text to speech, and generate sound effect. And so I can also generate a sound effect itself. Now I can always tab back in and go into slide, and this is where I have my triggers and stuff. I would love for the AI to help you generate triggers as well and add some custom interactivity, but we're just barely scratching the surface here. So maybe down the road, you can see other versions that will be able to do that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and insert some text. And so I'm gonna come up to the top here, click on insert some text, and you'll notice a new prompt here. It automatically adds a text entry box, and then it says, what do you want to write? Now I don't have to use this. I can just go ahead and copy and paste in my own text from my storyboard. But let's go ahead and try this out. Let's say write about, and let's say write about 3 important key concepts to keep in mind in workplace safety. Now in ChatGPT, you have to tell it what kind of role you are. You're an instructional designer, you're going to be writing a script, different things like that. From what I've found so far and playing around with this, it already understands that you're writing instructional content. So I don't really have to prompt it that way, but I can add additional prompts like you're an instructional designer with Amazon, you're an instructional designer with Apple or something like that, and you're going to keep these things in mind. You can write that inside of your prompt here. Now, there are other things where you can define it. Instead of just write about, write 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, write a bulleted list or number list. And so if I want very specific type of results back, I can go ahead and just put that at the beginning. Now, those are just prompts for me to be able to establish a prompt. And so I can come in here and ignore those and just, ask it to write about a certain 1.5 paragraphs of this, something like that. But let's just go ahead and see what happens when I don't define. So I'm going to click on play, and you can see that it's starting to generate the text, and it will actually even format it for me and let me preview it right here before it inserts it into the page. So I can come in, and if I like it, I can say insert, and notice I can keep prompting. And this is what's cool, is I can go back to additional prompts. And so if I want to tell it how to edit this, shorten the text description in each number. So it will generate another version for me. But if I liked what happened in the previous version, what I can do is actually come back to version 2. So I don't completely lose that previous version. I can go back to that version. And if I decide, okay, I didn't really like the prompt, then I can go back to version 2 and then have it prompt something else from version 2 instead of version 3. So this is what's really cool about it, being able to prompt and being able to add additional content and additional context and have it improve it and specialize it in certain areas. So you can see right here, I can copy it, I can try again, but then I can come back into the edit selection of improve writing or fix spelling. And so even if I'm typing it myself, I use Grammarly all the time because I am not the best typer. I am not the best writer. So I go in and I type it inside of Grammarly, and it will help fix my mistakes and my spelling and other things like that. Well, if I'm doing this inside a Storyline, I don't have to do that in Grammarly first. I can just do that here, and I have those same types of adjustments that I can make right inside of here. So I can make it shorter, I can make it longer, I can change the tone. If it's not a professional tone, I can change it into a professional tone. I could define the audience as well. I can simplify the writing, or I can turn it into a bullet point list, which it kind of already is. And then I could bold key terms as well. Let's try that. I want to see what happens when I bold key terms. I really like that. I like being able to bold certain terms. I do that anyways, where I want to have certain text called out and the learner's attention drawn to those words or those phrases that are important. So I really like this actually. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on insert. Now when I click on insert, there we go. It's now a text field inside of my slide here. Now because it's a text field, I can adjust this however I want. So let's come down here and just kind of adjust this to be half the screen. Now, if I need to, I can always go back in and select that text. And notice as I hover over the text, and let's select all of it here, there is these 3 little stars up on the top, which I can always come back in, and it has the text selected, and I can go back and shorten it and improve it and refine it and so forth. This is, for me, probably worth the price, because instead of using Grammarly, which already cost like $200 a year or something, I can't remember, you can check that out, but it already costs. And so if I can do something inside of here instead of there, maybe I can shift the cost over to Storyline's AI assistant. And that way I can come in here and just update my text automatically right inside of here. Or if you already use Grammarly as kind of the storyboard anyways, you could just basically take that and copy and paste it in here. So I'm trying to show you both ways. If you want to use the AI assistant, if you don't want to use the AI assistant, there's other tools that can help you solve that problem as well. Then I can come back in here and improve the writing, shorten the writing. And you can see that if I just select one text, let's say that this paragraph is not quite meeting it. So let's click on this AI assistant here. And now I can improve the writing just on that paragraph instead of everything. So it allows you to do it overall. It allows you to just focus in on a certain paragraph right inside of the tool, which is really nice. Okay, so that is our text. Now I could come in here and always select the text here, and you'll notice we have a new option for edit text, which then just basically takes everything that's in that box and brings it back into that same view that we saw before. So it's about the same thing there. All right, now I want to insert an image here. So I'm going to use the insert image here. Now I'm on the Home tab. Notice that if I come into the Insert tab, I do have those same options as well, but I also have the previous options of just adding a text box. I still also have Content Library, so I have access to all of Storyline's content library, But now I have this new section that's all about AI, which is also the same content on the home tab. So those are two different ways to be able to get to this. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Insert Image. Now this is similar to Midjourney or DALL-E or something like that. If you've used Adobe Firefly, all of those are kind of similar applications for this. You can come in here and you can describe the image that you want. Well, we're talking about workplace safety. So let's go ahead and just describe an image. Give me an image about workplace safety. Now I may want to define, okay, give me an image of somebody in a vest wearing a hard hat, give it very specific instructions, but I want to see what happens when I'm a little bit more general here. The next thing I can do is choose the style. If I don't want any style there, it might give me a little bit more realistic, but if I want to completely define the type of style I want, like a cinematic photo, editorial, or a vector illustration, or 8-bit, or it can even define it, give it some type of custom style, which I believe would just have you prompt in the type of style that you want there. But let's go ahead and just do 3D animation. So you can see here, it adds that text, 3D animation, vibrant color, and you'll notice the description if you wanted to create your own, it just describes the type of style separated by commas. So keywords separated by commas to get that type of style that you want. So these are already ones that are built out for you, like 3D or cinematic photo. But if you wanted to add your own and describe your own specifically for your company, you can probably do that under the custom. Now, this is where it then gives us the aspect ratio. So do we want it to be landscape? Do we want it to be square? Or do we want it to be portrait? Well, in this case, I want the image to go on the right-hand side. So I think portrait would probably be better, but we can always crop it if we wanted to. So I'm going to click on Generate Image and then see what happens. So just like Midjourney, just like DALL-E or anything like that, just AI, Firefly, you'll get some pretty close images, but you're going to get some crazy images like that. Like, I don't know if anybody wears their glasses like that or even their hard hat like that. So, and there may be even some things off about, like you can see like a hand right here. But this one to me, I think is looking pretty good. So I can click on View. And it does allow me to just navigate through the different ones. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is right here. But let's go ahead and just keep this one right here and click on Insert Image. Now I can just bring this over. And if I wanted to, let's kind of make this a little bit bigger. And let's crop it up a little bit. So I'm going to go down here, and all of the same image editing tools that I had before are still there. It's still Storyline. So I can click on Crop right here. And then I can just bring that up to kind of match that top crop there. And there we go. So now we can insert images, create custom images, describe the types of styles of images that we want. It's going to be hit or miss. Sometimes you might have to go back in and describe it as something else. And if you don't like the results, you can click on Generate Image again and generate a new image. So this is awesome so far. I've been able to insert some text. I've been able to insert an image. Now, there is debate whether this is, whether I would just go in here and insert some text. I agree with that debate. I'm not saying not to agree with that. What I think you should do is still be aware of the tool, because you can leverage the tool. I think of this like coding, because I can code myself, but using something like ChatGPT helps me speed up my coding. I still need to know coding principles. I still need to know how to use a framework, because ChatGPT or whatever AI tool that you're using is not going to get it perfect. And so if I still know the concepts, I still know the principles, I'm able to create something faster with AI. So in this case, I still need to know good instructional design. I still need to know my subject matter, or I at least need to work with subject matter experts. But leveraging these tools allows me to create content faster. And then I can come in and generate some content quickly, or even a concept of it. And then I still need to edit it. I still need to read it. I still need to go in and tweak it. And there still needs to be that human intervention, somebody who is the expert in this kind of thing, to still be involved. I don't like to get into those debates. I just like to show you what's possible, and then you can decide from there. But I still think this is pretty cool how we can create these custom images and text right inside of there. All right, so let's add some text to speech. And so I'm going to copy this text right here, And I don't necessarily like to have the audio be the same as the text on the screen, just because then you might be just listening or you might be reading or something and it might throw it off. But let's go ahead and click on insert some audio. And there's this text to speech. You can do voices and you can also do sound effects. So let's go ahead and just select text to speech. Now I'm going to paste in this text that I want to generate. And then I can come in here and select this drop down box. And I have all of these other voices. And I'm not sure if it's going to pick it up on the audio.
Our distrust is very expensive.
But those voices automatically sound so much better than previous voices inside of Storyline. So I'm just going to select that one right here and then click on Generate Speech. Okay, so we can hit play.
1. Hazard identification. Regularly assess the workplace for physical, chemical, and...
That sounds amazing. That sounds like what most kind of just voiceovers sounded like. Now you can still kind of tell, but I'm going to go ahead and just click on Insert for now. And it did stretch out my timeline. Now I could come in and animate my objects. So if I select this, so I can go into animation and then I'm going to select fade in. And then I'm going to have this do it by paragraph, which then allows me to expand this out. And then I could start to have these different animations come in at different times, the different bullet points. I don't know if those are the exact spots, but I'm just going to do that for now. Okay, so there is our text to speech. We also have the ability to generate voices, which we can search for voices, and there's 52 different types of voices that we can search for. And if we click on use, it then takes me back to the text to speech. So voices are just allowing me to search through all 52 and decide which voice that I want. But I also have the ability to generate a sound effect. I can decide how long I want, automatically select the best length if I wanted to. I can also prompt influence if I want this to follow the prompt exactly, or if I want there to be some creativity. And so let's just do symbol sound after joke. And then it's going to give me a couple different options here. So you can see generation 1, generation 2, and so forth. So there's my first one. That kind of gives me a little bit of a beat. That one was actually exactly what I was looking for. So I'm going to click on that and click on insert. And then you can see that it adds that sound right there. That might be worth it itself. I've purchased libraries where you get sound effects and loops and music and different things like that. So being able to generate the sound is pretty awesome right there. So we've been able to create this page just using AI. We've been able to create the image, the text, the audio sound, and even a sound effect. Let's also talk about some of the other options, and this is going to be, again, just high-level overview. I'm going to continue to have videos explaining different parts and really testing different parts of these out and diving deep, but we're just kind of exploring at this point. So I'm going to go into the quiz section, and this is going to generate a quiz. Now, this is what I actually love, because this allows me to generate a quiz from a slide. Because this is the part that I've always struggled with, is like trying to come up with quiz questions. And I came into this industry as a web developer. And so I've had to generate quizzes. I've had to create content. And so I've gotten a lot of practice over the years. But this helps me just by selecting that page or that scene. So you can go in and select. And right now we just have one slide. But then I can come in here and you can see continue. And then it says, got it. How do you want to add the quiz? And so you want to insert it as a new slide or insert it as question blank. Let's just do new slide. So it's going to ask me a couple different questions. And this is where it does more of the instructional design investigation. And so, okay, for example, you can define learning objectives, ask me to focus on something, or set difficulty. And let's just go ahead and just say, ask a question. Let's do create a question, asking the learner to define the 3 key concepts of workplace safety. So we've given it the content of what we want it to pull from, and it's going to use that slide as the resource, the source to pull the context. So let's go ahead and just click on enter, and you can see that it switches over to the AI assistant, and now it's generating that quiz for us. Now, this is actually going to generate more than one question. I selected quiz. You can select question if you just want one question. Now it's just going to generate a couple questions because I only had one page selected, but I could go through several pages and say, okay, really focus in on this part, or I want to have the learner memorize or be able to identify these concepts. And so you can work with the AI. And again, future videos, I'll just dive into this more and just explore this concept a little bit more. But now you can go into this page and you can see what are 3 types of hazards that you should regularly be assessed in the workplace. So physical, chemical, and ergonomic hazards. So I already selected the correct answer, and it may not be the right answer. You can just go ahead and adjust this as needed. What are 3 concepts of workplace safety? So hazard identification, safety training, and incident reporting. So hazard identification, safety training, and incident reporting. Use that resource to be able to create the questions. Now I could come in here and also create a single question if I wanted to, but we've already done that. Let's go into summary now. Now we can select all pages here. If I want to select all 3 pages and then generate a summary from all 3 of those pages. Now, if I want a pre-built layout, I can do that, or I can just do a blank slide. Let's just do a blank slide. And if I want to give it more directions and define it a little bit more, I can, but I'm just going to click on insert. And you can see that it's generating that slide. It's going to do a slide with either a text paragraph or bullet points. So now it's done doing that. Let's go ahead and go into that summary right there. And yeah, I don't like the way it formatted it directly. I may want to use like a template or something like one of Articulate's templates, but I like how it was able to take a summary of everything that we've learned about in this section and allow the learner to review that content. So really, those are the different parts of this new AI assistant inside of Storyline. Is it perfect? No. Is any AI perfect at the moment? No. Can you use other tools to do the same thing? Yes, absolutely. But if this works in your workflow, it may be worth considering. If you want to learn more, you can head on over to Articulate's website. And if you hover over where it says Articulate 360 platform, they have a new page dedicated to the AI assistant. And you can scroll down and learn a little bit more about the AI assistant here. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the AI assistant inside of Rise, which has some additional features that Storyline doesn't have. And I'm hoping that Storyline eventually gets it. But we're going to talk about that next week. So make sure you head on over to my YouTube channel, click that like button on this video, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified of all future videos as they come out. That really helps this video, helps my channel, allows me to continue to create these videos for you and continue to grow my channel. And that really helps the goal of my channel, which is to help you become the best learning developer that you can be, to really push the limits of learning development and e-learning content, to get some interactive content out there instead of just boring static content. So that's the goal of my channel. Also, if you want to check out the video on how PowerPoint handles AI using Copilot, I'll link to that. It'll show up here in a second. You can also check out my website at learningdojo.ninja. Here you can check out all previous blog posts. You can download template, and you can also check out full courses covering everything from A to Z in Articulate Storyline 360, Adobe Captivate, XAPI Fundamentals, Camtasia, Articulate Rise, Custom SCORM, and HTML5 video. That's all I have for today, so thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time.